bite my shiny metal, bite my sketchy habit. Hello, my name's Patrick, I'm an artist, and this is My Sketchy Habit, where we draw every day and you don't have to be ashamed. It's pretty darn neat. Speaking of which, we have neat stuff in our art gallery where I like to share your art. All you have to do is join the Discord down below and your art can end up here just like mine. Yesterday we had Animal Mashup as our theme, and this was my animal mashup. It is weird. I'm pretty sure it's a squirrel and a snail mashed together, or hermit crab smashed together, and I'm sorry. But hey, I'd love to see your art. Creativity is about fun. Sometimes it turns out super weird, sometimes it turns out pretty normal, sometimes it turns out pretty great. Either way, I'd love to see it. Drop in the Discord and it'll end up here. For now, this is the end of our week here, where we do art challenges with 3 challenges for 1 character, and our final character is Bender. Let's do the From Memory challenge with Bender. Alright, it's time for us to get into our Bender here, and I'm doing it from memory, which means that I gotta work off of something. Now, I really like Futurama. I've watched a lot of it in my time, and so you can see me here experimenting to get those light bulb-esque eyes in properly, just so that it feels more or less on par. But I don't know what I'm doing, I realize. I have this thing where I do from memory where I'm like, oh, I'll pick characters that I'm pretty confident in. And they don't always turn out bad, but they definitely don't turn out right, and I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Good example here is his mouth. I can't figure out what is happening. Turns out Bender actually has like a double mouth, like a 2 lines, not like a 1 line like you would for teeth. And that's why I can't figure out what's wrong with it. So I move on. I just say, well, we'll get to the mouth later. Let's just build out the rest of his body and make me feel better about where I'm at. You can see here, I've got it figured out. He has 3 fingers. He's got these tubular arms. I don't know what you would call them. With no sort of boning, just sort of freewheeling wobblies. And we put in something of a mouth to make me feel better. And we replicate the 3-prong hand over on this side. And we're pretty close to having the initial line art for our Bender. We're going to kick these legs down out of the bottom of the screen and move on to some line art. Now, this is a great chance for me to try to redeem myself, but you know how it goes. If you've been around the channel before, I've done a number of these, you know how it ultimately goes, and that's fine. You can see here I'm undoing my work already, trying to figure out how to do it better, and I just cannot quite get it, which is fine. He's going to turn out a bit cutesy for Bender. I love Futurama. My favorite episode of Futurama is the episode Devil's Hands or Idle Plaything, where Fry gets the robot Devil's Hands to learn to play the holophone. And yeah, it's beautiful, lovely. I'm a sucker for a musical inside of an episode of a TV show, and it does it for me. So, especially when it's a musical within the episode, within the musical, like the 3 layers deep. Either way, I think he's looking fantastic. It's coming together in a way that's at least close to Bender. Definitely recognizable as Bender. That's all I can really say. Recognizable as Bender. Not Bender, but recognizable as Bender. He's looking alright. I'm not too upset with how this one turned out. I think it's okay. There's a couple things, like I said, with the mouth and stuff that I didn't quite get right, but I'm pretty darn close. Even though I'm definitely wrong. Let's check out our final reveal here of Bender from memory. It is game time! That means we play a little game, and our game this week has been Guess the Image. I've drawn a picture. It's up for you to guess it. Can you do it? Let's find out. And with that, I gave myself a chance to look and started doing my 1-minute drawing. This is fantastic, an opportunity for me to get this character in here, but I don't have a lot of time to do it, so we're pushing ahead as fast and as loose as we can. You can see we're trying to build out those eyes, get the visor correct. I feel like I did myself a disservice by having the visor go up in my version. By looking slightly down, it sort of worked out a little bit better in this version. But of course, we're going fast because we don't have time. You can see there's that double line that really makes a big difference in the ideation of Bender. The ideation. That's what the first one was. Ideation. Ideation. Anyways, I think we've got all the Bender we can get. It's time for the dad joke, bad joke. We have a joke that comes straight from my dad. He sends me a joke every single day in WhatsApp, and I collect them all up so I can give them back to you. And today we got a robotic joke for Bender, and it goes like follow. Where do robots sit? Where do robots sit? On their row bottoms. On their row bottoms. Okay, that one actually makes me laugh. Where do robots sit? On their row bottoms. That's the dad joke. Good joke. Let's get back to the art. And finally, the challenges fall away and we're left with reference. That means we have all the time in the world we can use and we can see it. No longer relying on our memory or speed to get it done. And you can see already we are landing that much closer to Bender. We're getting the shapes in correctly. We're getting them, more or less to scale properly. And we are building out a character that is 100% discernible as Bender. The other two were Bender Light, and, Bonder, different Benders. This one 100% is Bender. There's something to be said about a character as simple as Bender in that his body shapes need to be accurate. So his head being the shape that it is and the location of his eyes and the size of his mouth is so critical to getting Bender spot on that there's almost no way I was going to get it in my first drawing. But here we are. We have a chance to do it with some reference and with some time, and I'm happy with the results that we're getting. I was saying earlier that I really love Futurama. I watched a lot of Simpsons when I was younger. I haven't watched Simpsons in a long time, but Futurama always sort of has a staying power in my mind. I used to listen to the audio commentaries that came on the DVDs, and they were incredible. Something that we've sort of lost in the world of streaming media is that you used to get these things and it was just the creators and the voice actors talking, and they were funny and weird, and sometimes it was very much about the episode and jokes about that. Sometimes it was just a deep dive off the deep end, and it was super fun. We're gonna get some colors on here, get our Bender looking super gray, because let's face it, there aren't a lot of colors to Bender. And once these colors are on, we'll drop in some shadows, get some highlights, and of course we will show you the final reveal of our Bender with reference. And that is the end of our Bender here. We have all three of our art challenges done, and I hope you like how they turned out. I really like the way they turned out. It's a lot of fun to do these art challenges, and I love sharing my art with you. I also love when you share your art with me, and we have a community all about that. The Doodle Croodle in our Discord. We have an art gallery where I want to share your art. We also have a new prompt for today. It's got everything going on. Today's prompt is the crab commute. The crab commute. What does that mean? Again, I don't really know. I won't know until I draw it. I hope you take a chance to draw it and share your art with me. It can be the prompt, it could be something else. We just want to be an art positive community here on the internet. And yeah, join the Doodle Croodle and show us what you can doodle. That means it's the end of the 3 challenges for 1 character week here on My Sketchy Habit. We have a new theme coming up next week. We are going to be doing a gritty reboot of a show that really needs it. That's right, we're doing a gritty reboot of Paw Patrol. Come see what happens to all your favorite Paw Patrol members, or find out if we can make it just a better show when we gritty reboot Paw Patrol next week here on My Sketchy Habit. And as we come to the end, I want to remind you of our 1 rule for My Sketchy Habit, which is really our sketchy habit, which is, of course, don't tell anyone about our sketchy habit. That's going to be it for now. Thank you so much, and keep being awesome. Bye!